Hello, 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 beautiful patriots around the world. This is Beautician 911, always concerned about your beauty, your wellness, and your wealth. So today I got some intels for you, but first I'd like to clear things off my chest, because there's a lot of things that are being said that are very confusing, but for the most part it's out of ignorance. And I thought, well, maybe I should clarify. I don't say that I know everything, but at least I check my source. And also I want to speak for Africans because, you know, most of the time we've never had the narrative of our own stories. After slavery and colonization, the biggest attempt was to erase our history, erase our contribution to the world, even though we've been there for longer than anybody else on this planet. To me, I like to focus on what we have in common, because we have a lot of things in common more than we have differences. So we should celebrate what we have in common, and we should embrace our differences. Okay, so as you can see it in the title, today it's African versus Illuminati. Symbolism will be the downfall. I agree. Nevertheless, Illuminati did not invent all the symbols. They may have modified them, maybe give them another meaning, that's for sure another sense. Symbols have been there for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and they were not solely used for the purpose of Satanism. Y'all are giving them way too much credit. Now, let me tell you about the biggest setup of history. It did not start with Salon Gate Nancy Pelosi, okay? Well, we all have been set up, but this was the first biggest setup of history. First, they sent us the missionaries, then the mercenaries. By the time the mercenaries were there, we were tricked. These people were not humans. They trashed my ancestors. They trashed our gods. They trashed our religion and everything that was considered divine or sacred to us. They told us all our deities were demons and we were practicing Satanism. Yet, they turned around and started to use all of that knowledge for their own self, for their own empowerment. They stole our altars tools, our artifacts, and the objects of our thrones. It all ended up in European museums and in the Vatican. We've been begging and begging the Europeans to get our stuff back. But anywho, today everybody's waking up, and Illuminati symbology is exposed for everyone to see. But unfortunately, everything is attributed to Satan and devil worshipping, and while this was not the way my ancestors intended to use those. So once again, my ancestors are being trashed. But this time,
we will not have it. I said we will not have it. Oh.
If you're new to my channel, or if you've missed my last few videos, to resume, I was saying we've been ruled by 13 Illuminati families, which we call the Deep State Shadow Government, the New World Order Globalist, or the Cabal, because they practice the Satanic Cabal, and they've been around for a long time, but they really took control over this world for the past 250 years. How did they do that? By infiltrating most organizations, even the religious ones, like the Vatican, the banking system, the secret societies, the intelligence agencies like CIA, FBI, British intelligence, MI6, Mossad, aka Israel intelligence, etc., etc. Now, they have fueled and financed both sides of each war since Napoleon. cause the death of monarchs, destabilize countries during election so that it can take over their governments and their militaries. Their motto is to divide to better conquer. And they're using the media in order to push and advance their propaganda. I like to call it propagandism because they seem to enjoy everything that ends with ism, like white supremacism, Nazism, Marxism, communism, socialism, feminism, sexism. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. Like among minority groups or non-white countries, that trickled down to colorism and tribalism. And there's no excuse for it. Because we know how it ended a few times. It ended in genocides. We're tired of y'all. We tired of y'all, Illuminati. I think I mentioned before the alliance. There is an alliance. Like in everything, there's two sides, okay? There's good and bad everywhere. In every race, in every nation, in every organization, you're gonna find good people and bad people. Yes, sometimes organizations have more good than bad, and sometimes they have more bad than good. But there are some good side of Illuminati, which are joining force with the military and with Trump. And this is why we're now having Illuminati apocalypse. Now the white hat are the ones in the military that is fighting the good side. And they're fighting against the Nazi army of those Illuminati cabal, the black hat. So you got white hat, black hat. Duality, okay? But I think the white hats are winning. Now that you are all caught on, let's check the intel. All right. We need 100% of people indoors to see what the US military is going to broadcast on everyone's TV sets worldwide. It is going to be very painful, but we can no longer have people divided. Around Sunday or Monday, I don't know, it didn't precise which Sunday, which Monday. POTUS will tweet, POTUS aka the President of the United States. He will tweet, "My fellow Americans, the storm is upon us. We will go to full global martial law." He will most likely be on board of Air Force One when he sends out 7 presidential messages to everyone's phones and TV sets worldwide on the emergency broadcast system. From there, all global military via US military will shut down all media, internet, phones, and all TV programming. Emergency services will still have theirs. So I'm guessing 911 will still have theirs. So the US military can broadcast 10 days of 3-time 8-hour sessions of video confessions, military tribunals, lots of evidence from the scandals listed in the Storm article. While this is happening, they will be removing governments worldwide and making global arrests. 500,000 indictments. Gesera Necera will be activated, which will be full rewiring of planet Earth. Damn. It's about to go down. Illuminati apocalypse. Now, to start with our symbology, I don't know if I should start by saying rest in peace, Beyonce and Chadwick, Because I know it sounds shocking, but supposedly a bunch of people that we think are dead are actually alive, and a bunch of people that we think are alive are actually dead. I don't have all the answers for you. I know we're gonna find out soon. But in the meantime, I want to go over their legacies, because honestly, regardless of what they had to do for the Hollywood masters, okay, they were willing participant of making Africa's image great again. We've never had our own narrative as African. All you heard or you saw about Africa was famine, poverty, endless guerrilla wars. And for our Africans in the diaspora, meaning, for example, here in America, all you see is stories of slavery for the most part, or the cliche stereotype, gangsterhood, women of the night. No offense, but we have other side. And we appreciate this body of work that was done in Black Panther and Black is King, because it shows Africa in its glory. It shows Africa that is joyful, that is beautiful, that is magical. And for once, that magic of Africa is not viewed as demonic, at least not in the movie per se, because they've already bombarded you, brainwashed you that every spirituality that comes from Africa is demonic.
It was beautiful, man.
Oh shit, but what's making you cry, Punja, if it's so beautiful?
It's so beautiful.
Oh my.
Quick away. What are you doing here? It's challenge day. We will not have it. I said we will not have it. I, Mbaku, leader of the Jabari tribe, I accept your challenge, Mbaku. Glory to our new man. Let the challenge begin.
Comprenez mon émotion.
That means understand my emotion. Now let's view our totem. The American totem is the great eagle. Asian totem is the dragon. And then you have the Russian bear. What is your totem? Anyway, the African totem, the felines. We don't discriminate when it comes to our felines, but let's start with the cat, okay? In my country, the cat is called the nyao. Meow. If you go back to history, back in ancient Egypt, African calls it Kemet. Back in Kemet, we had the goddess Bast. Bast or Bastet.
A warrior shaman received a vision from the panther goddess Bast, who led him to the heart-shaped herb.
So in Black Panther, at one point, in order to enter the realm of the ancestors, they have to call upon Bast.
I call upon the ancestors. I call upon Bast.
I'm here with my son, T'Challa. Heal him.
Of course, the first sex kitten was Eartha Kitt. Bast or Bastet. When she is a cat, she is the guardian of the house. She transforms into a lioness when she goes in battles with the men and she protects the warriors. The cult of the feline has been going on for thousands and thousands of years. We also have the leopard society, le culte du léopard. Beyonce has leopard print all over in her Black is King visual album. Our chiefs have always wore the feline skin or the leopard skin. Now, this right here is Patrice Lumumba. Patrice Lumumba was a patriot. He loved his country. Belgium Congo, about to be called Zaire for its independence. But Patrice gave a speech, and internationally there was a lot of talk because Malcolm X loved Lumumba very much. It was inspired by him, by his speech, his demeanor, and he also named one of his daughter Lumumba. She has it as a second name, I believe. But anyway, Patrice Lumumba was in love with his country, his nation, and wanted to do good for the country. It's basically like a Nelson Mandela case, you know. The CIA killed Patrice Lumumba and basically made sure to put their leader as the head of state, the Illuminati puppet, Mobutu Sese Seko. We have even our team, a football team called the Leopard. Here we have the Lion of Judah, King of Kings, Emperor Selassie the First. Selassie I was actually direct descendant from your biblical Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. The Queen of Sheba and Solomon had a son called Menelik. Menelik the first, then we had Menelik the second, and Emperor Selassie. King Selassie defeated the Italians and prevented his country from being invaded and colonized. But in the end, World War II was raging, and he knew they were not going to make it. The Italians were back to invade Ethiopia. Selassie gave a speech that was memorable to the League of Nations, which is now the United Nations. Unfortunately, they did not listen. He went and asked help right and left. Nobody wanted to help except for the Queen of England. Elizabeth II accepted to help in exchange for his throne, and then he had to go to exile. Sad story, but at the same time, he was considered as the second coming of the Christ, the living God, a legend worshipped by the Rastafarian. The religion Rastafarian was started because of him. And he did give a piece of land to the Jamaican to come back to Ethiopia if they wanted to. So a lot of the Jamaican are now in Ethiopia, still worshiping Rastafari. He created the OAU, Organization of African Union. Most of the monarchs of Africa have been killed during colonization or before colonization. And some of them were forced to step down as a chief, and some fled, some were killed. And so the Queen of Sheba descendant was actually hiding in Tobago, Trinidad, and she came out of her hiding place about 10 years ago, and she was crowned. She was crowned Queen of Sheba. She is Sheba the Third, Sheba Ra the Third.
The origin comes from the first king, Nimrod. Nimrod's daughter was Sheba, which we call Sheba the First in accordance to our African tradition. Sheba the Second, which is in later history, is of the lines of the kings and queens, the pharaohs, the black pharaohs, and the kingdoms throughout Africa, which was the most known of the Sheba of the thrones. Sheba the Third of today is of that same kingdom collective lines. The kingdoms of Africa is born from this bloodline root. It is not possible to be a king or to be a queen in Africa unless you are from those straight lines of bloodline and historical roots. When the empire was expanded or formed in Nubia in the time of the Kush Empire and the Sheba Empire, the empire itself comprised of the kingdoms that was formed from those nations throughout Africa. The key ruling nation at that time was Egypt. Nubia as well was the home of Sheba, and that included the lower part of Egypt, or south of Egypt, north of Sudan and south of Libya, but that did not contain the complete empire. The empire covered all of Africa and actually stretched into Kushan and those places of India, and as well as into the Americas. Africa is one nation. The African people are one people. Your ancestors, Noah, Ninetja, Adam, Atom, Ham, Sekemwe, Cush, Horasaha, Nimrod, Naama, Nimrod's daughter, Sheba the first, the root ancestor of all the nations of Africa. We are one. Unity in Africa must come from within. It must come from the heart. We cannot fight. When you fight, when you hit, when you kill, it is your brother, it is your sister, it is your mother. The thrones of Africa has a responsibility to lead the people. The thrones of Ghana has a responsibility within the respective kingdoms region to lead the people of their region in peace, in harmony, for that is what goes well with God. The thrones of Africa from the ancestral lines are the only throne anointed and has remained unbroken, because as it has been spoken by God, what God puts together, no man tears asunder.
Methuselah, and then there was the flood, and then it's Noah, Ham, Cush.
We are from the Nubia Cushite line, so I'm a Nubia Cushite from the Cush throne. Our family region covers the south of Libya, the southern part of Sudan, and the northern part of Sudan, the southern part of Egypt. But that is the home region of the throne. It's not the throne itself. The throne itself of Kush covered all of the African continent, into the Americas, into India. It's a throne whose forefather was Nimrod. Nimrod was the son of Cush. Cush was the son of Ham. Nimrod's daughter was Sheba the first. And from Sheba the first, all the pharaohs and the kings and queens of our ancient empire became. From those empires, with the expansion of it, it formed more and more kingdoms and settlements throughout Africa. From there, you have the ancient Nok, the Yorubas, the Hausas, the Fulanis, forming the kingdoms covering Nigeria and those regions. So you're a direct descendant of the ancient line of kingdoms, and the only kingdom line that has never been broken. So is very, very brief history about the kingdom and the kingdom line.
Thank
My
you.
grandmother
Your
was
Majesty.
Irish Mary II, and we are also from the lines of King Abu Shiba and Pharaoh Rebel Ture III, and the great ancestral line of Tau I, which covers just about
Right.
every black pharaoh
Yeah.
in between
Yes,
those
link.
lines, and Tahakwa, Sabaka, Bianchi, and the Queen of Sheba, who was before the second, whose actual name was Zasabadu. Her father's name Zasabadu, and her name was Makiba. And she became the queen at 15 of the throne of Sheba, but her name was not Sheba. It's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
throne
throne
of
of
Sheba,
Sheba,
yes. So that is the lines which we're all a part of.
With Princess Maria Amo, who is the founder and president We Care for Humanity. And
Yes. Well, for one, I will tell you our Noble Woman of the Year this year is Emperor Sheba III of the African Kingdom Federation, Federation of the South Kingdom, due to the fact that she has livelihood projects and fight for poverty campaign, which is the P7P. And she is very, very decisive, really, to push this project all over the world and benefiting especially the